Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Grass. This is the Grassroots 304 podcast, episode 43. And tonight, my special guests are all the way here from St. Pete, Florida. We've got the Ries Brothers.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Super stoked to be here.
You're welcome, man. We've got Kevin and Charlie, right?
That's right.
Yeah, welcome to the shop, guys. Welcome to West Virginia.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's great to be here. First time playing, and gonna be more excited.
Yeah. For very first West Virginia show of all time tonight for us. So we're pumped.
Well, what better place to have you at than here at the shop? I
Yeah.
can tell you, I could say a couple other places, but this is the best place for you guys to be playing at here.
Awesome.
So,
That's good news.
yeah, we're glad to have you, and you know, it's been kind of a long time coming. I've been following you guys for probably the last 8 or 9 months now.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
As funny as it sounds, Spotify actually recommended you guys to
Really?
people to listen to.
That's awesome.
And yeah,
Hell yeah.
it was a good recommendation.
Hell yeah.
And I saw that you guys are going to be on the tour with Big Something.
Yeah.
coming up. I was like, oh, no way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Big Something, they're awesome band. What can I say about that? What can I not say about Big Something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
cool guys, and yeah, glad to have you guys here. I told Larry, the owner, about you all, and he listened. He was like, "Oh, they got a good sound. We should try to get them through."
Hell yeah.
Through the process to try to make that happen, and it just so happened we could fit you in.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Appreciate you reaching out, and I love how that came to be. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, how many times, for some reason, my phone it thinks that I'm driving. I'm not driving. How many times do people call you the Ries Brothers?
Oh, a lot. It's been happening less lately, but it for a long time. I mean, we even got one last night that said Rise. So, but it's been happening less and less. Like, as we've been working on the, we have a hashtag respect, we say, and that we came up with a couple years ago to try to help people. Like, we also used to sell a Reese's Pieces shirt, help people like learn the pronunciation, and but yeah, we dealt with a few. When we were first starting out, we got Ries a lot. We got someone thought we were the Ries Brothers, and then one venue wrote our name so wrong. It's almost impossible to write it this wrong. Instead of the Ries Brothers, they put the and Rees together, and then bro. So it said Theories Bro tonight. I'm like, what is? Yeah, that was wild. So that was the worst. Wrong spelling. Yeah.
Okay, so I had read that as a kid you were, this is actually later on in my question, but it goes right with it. Like playing sports. I got a buddy lives in Fort Lauderdale. His last name is Shashadi. Okay, and whenever you try to when you look at that on paper, you think like
Japanese.
Shishidi or Shishidi or
right.
yeah, he's not Japanese at all. Actually, he's a white guy, and yeah, it's like whenever you play sports, as I'd read that you
Yeah, we both played baseball.
Yeah, played baseball.
Big
right?
baseball players.
And did anybody ever mess up your name whenever they're announcing you? Like, here comes.
That's a good question.
I don't think I made it far enough to have announcers.
Oh, Kevin, it was you that were into baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
We both played, but he was better and lasted longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so but like it was here and there, same thing.
Yeah.
Some people would announce it, and some people would.
Yeah, hit or miss. Hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean, if we'd known that we'd be, we'd hoped we'd take it this far, but like thinking back, maybe we should have came up with a new name a long time ago, but it's too late now.
Right, yeah, just stick with it, roll
But
with it.
we thought, it was like I know Led Zeppelin had trouble or in the early they were worried the Americans couldn't pronounce their names right, so they that's why they had LED, right? So we're like, and then we from other bands, that we know, and they're like, what, just don't, make it so far where they have to learn your name, like
Right.
don't change it just based on other people, so we thought, okay, that's cool. Let's, we've been at this point we were a couple years into it, and we're like, because we were at a crossroads, do we change it, do we not? And we're like, no, let's just keep going, because yeah.
What were some of the ideas and names you guys had came up with if it wasn't going to be the Ries Brothers?
I don't even think we got that far, because I think we pretty much knew we were going to keep it, but
Yeah.
Luckily we didn't have to get to that brainstorming session, because I'm sure there'd be some really bad ones.
Yeah, it would be a tragedy if we came up with something when we were super young and then hated it, after we. So I think we played it safe.
That's a good idea. So I see you guys are driving a Winnebago.
Yes.
Tell me, who's the better driver?
I'm not gonna lie, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the reliable one. So if we have like a tough drive, it's like we know he's driving.
Yeah.
You know, if like on stretches of highways, I'm fine. You know, but yeah, he's the city driver. I'm the country driver.
Okay, I got it. So Kevin, are you responsible for that big dent on the back side of it?
So the one in the back, someone hit us.
Oh,
It wasn't any of us. It was when we were parked, but one of them is him actually. Yeah.
I will take responsibility for that. The one in the back right. If anyone sees our RV out there, you can take a look at the dent I made on the back right.
Take a picture with it.
Yeah, take a picture next to it. Send it to us.
Respect.
That was last summer. Basically, I made it through. I took that RV into Manhattan, fine. Made it through Chicago, fine. Boston, fine. And then we were out in LA actually, and in front of the venue, and just making a turn. There's this big electrical box there, and I misjudged it. It was after the set.
I saw the RV rolling around the corner, like stuff falling off him. Like, oh, what did he do? So, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
Yes, I'd rather have that happen than your window get busted out and all your shit get stolen.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Exactly.
like, I've heard a lot of horror stories from bands. You know, like all their vans get broken into or trailers get stolen.
right.
So we're definitely lucky to have my guitar on stage right now.
Yeah, it's so common out there, but like, it's like stealing's legal out there up to $900.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah, that's why people get away with it.
Right.
I think I'll turn my mic off. But yeah, California.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about California for a minute.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is there any wild stories out on the road that you'd like to share? But that's kind of a wild story. You got anything else besides hitting electrical boxes? And,
You think of anything?
We've been touring full time since like 2018. We've had we've got some cool stories. We've got some sketchy. I remember
311 Cruise, Mexico.
that's a good one. Yeah. So we had a show booked in Brooklyn, and so we were flying up there to do that, and we had an agent we were trying to sign with coming out to that show. So that was our whole point for going up there and playing. And the band 311 does a cruise every other year, and now we played it twice, and it's a incredible experience. It's a week-long music festival at sea. 311 plays 3 sets and takes like 15 bands with them, and all the bands do 3 sets. It's an incredible experience. So we were playing their pre-party in Tampa. This is 2019, and the cruise was leaving out of Tampa the next day. Now we weren't booked on it at all, but their manager was there, and after we played our set, he came up to us and he said, "Do you guys have plans this week?" And I'm like, well, we're playing the show up in New York, but besides that, no. He's like, well, do you guys want to come on the cruise tomorrow? He's like, I'm gonna squeeze you guys in. He's like, we're like, what? Because that was a big goal of ours for a long time, you know. Every time that lineup drops, we're like, man, we got to get on that someday. So he asked us the night before it left. So we're like, luckily it left out of our home area, so we just had to run home and pack. But then we're like, shit, we got this show in New York, and it conflicts. We're like, and we have an agent coming out. We can't miss it. We got to find a way to do both, because there's no way we're saying no to this cruise.
Right.
And at this point, like, shout out to our manager, David. He likes to take an Ambien before he falls asleep. So at this point, he already dropped that. And then we call him with all this shit. And basically, he's nodding off, and we're calling him, telling him, you have to figure out all these logistics to get us from the boat to New York City. Like, and he's like, what? But I mean, obviously he was stoked that we were getting an offer for the boat. So basically what we had to do was we had to leave. The ship went to Belize and Mexico. Mm-hmm. We had to get off in Mexico, take a 4-hour cab ride to the nearest airport, and then fly to JFK and in order to play the set. So that was a wild one. And we're getting off the boat. They had customs come on and check everything, and then the cruise was like, all right, there's a GPS in the cab, so if it takes a wrong turn that we don't like, we'll know about it. Right. I'm like, we'll know, but we'll already be. It's too late. Yeah. But no, it was so. Shout out to everyone who helped make that happen, because we did. We got off at I think we got off at Costa Maya and had to take a cab ride to, I think we flew out of Cancun. But it was like 4 hours through Mexico. It was pretty wild because we'd never been to Mexico, and then we flew to JFK, and did the show. So that was a pretty wild one.
How many hours was that in between, being in Mexico? Obviously, like, flying is, a short amount of time, but, like, it's like one day in Mexico, next day in sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. How does that make your brain feel? It's like,
It's snowing right where we landed. So like,
going from the beach in Mexico to the snow, because it was like early March. But yeah, so that was a trip. But then this is still only our second year of touring, so like we're still pretty fresh, and like it was all really exciting. Like we're still not at the fact where we're still not bored of it. Like every there's always chance to do something new. Like tonight, this is our first time here, so that's one of the aspects of the job that we've always loved, is just discovering new things, playing new venues, new cities, trying new food. That's one of the big reasons we got into all this, is just for the experience.
Right. Just go travel and
live
your life and experience something different.
100%, yeah.
That's cool to be able to do. I mean, being young guys and going and travel throughout the United States and essentially around the world too. Have you been anywhere like on the other side?
Not yet. That's a goal. But we've we got to do a set.
What's up, BJ?
We did the 311 cruise again last year. We got to play a set on the beach in Belize, which was really cool. And then we did a tour with G Love that went to Canada. But besides that, we haven't gone overseas yet, so that's a big goal.
That's cool. And you didn't even have to go fight in a war to get to all this.
That's right.
At least that's what my parents would have told me as a kid. They would never would have said, like, you start a band and then you go travel and play awesome music.
Yeah.
And, do fun things too. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So you guys have been touring since 2018, but you guys have been playing together since 2012.
That's right.
Your early influences are such as the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and the Black Keys and even Revolution.
Yeah.
Some of these styles and these sounds, they can be heard in your music now. How do you blend these musical inspirations into your sound now?
So it's a good question. I bring that. The Beatles were the first band that really got us inspired, and then I fell in love with the Doors, and that's the reason I played keyboard bass. Freeman's Eric, I was a huge fan of, and we couldn't find a bass player growing up, so like we were both in a band with other kids in middle school, but then we found out pretty early that we were the only ones taking it seriously, and we were the only ones showing up for rehearsals, and I think rehearsal was at our house, and one day like no one showed up. We were like, why don't we just do this? Like we can practice whenever we want. We don't have to schedule anything. Let's just be a duo. I'll hold down the bass, I'll try that with the drums, and I was like, I'll do that for a couple years until we find somebody, and then it stuck. But came from that, loving the Doors, loving Beatles, then fell in love with Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Then I fell in love with more bluesy stuff like Gary Clark Jr. and the Black Keys, Jack White, and then Kevin brings the reggae flair. So we took these two loves of ours, rock and roll and reggae, and kind of blend them together. Some of your
I was on a hardcore reggae kick from like age 16 to 20. It's like all I listened to is crazy, and that's how I discovered Revolution, Slightly Stupid, Sublime, all those guys, and then I realized like all the guitar playing in these bands is like super underrated. Like Revolution, like Eric, he was one of my favorite like guys to watch and kind of learn from. I don't think he gets enough credit really. So that kind of helped me, because he's Revolution's a reggae rock band. They're not like old school roots, but they have a lot of rock reggae stuff. So like his guitar solos are always a huge inspiration of mine, and that's kind of how I blended that into what we do, and kind of created a cool little unique sound.
Right.
So
yeah, you can definitely hear it between your three albums. It's you can hear the variations between, like on the first one here. I've got them written down here. The first one, 2017, that was the View from Outside, which was produced by Ted Bone. Did I get it?
Ted Bone, yeah. Pacifier.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, Pacifier.
Sorry, Ted.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was actually in a couple more questions down, but like, how does I guess you end up meeting different people, in the industry as you go and you work more. But like, how does that sort of come along? Does he find you sort of like? I've got so many questions that are actually coming through right now that I'm.
Yeah.
Bring them on.
It's just kind of like how the manager from Chicago saw you guys playing. It's
Yeah.
like, how'd that work out with Tim? The same way that the manager from Chicago found you guys, or was it word of mouth, or how'd that go?
Yeah, you talking about Ted? Like work with him?
Yeah, not Tim. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. So, I've been a big Pacifier fan for a while, and when we met our manager David, like he knows everyone in the scene, but he knows Pacifier and Ted, and we found out he lived in St. Pete at the time and had a home studio, and we were looking for a studio at the time. So we're like, let's just go meet up with him and check out the studio, see if it's somewhere we want to do the record here. And sure enough, we got along great and did some jam session before we actually recorded it. And we're like, yeah, let's do it here. So we spent like 3 days doing the whole album there. It was an amazing experience. And yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Ted 'cause it was awesome. That was our first record, and basically we took, we wrote a couple new songs for that, but we basically took all the original songs that we had up to that point. That's the album's a little, stylistically a little all over the place. It's got blues rock, it's got reggae rock, it's got jam elements to it. And because I now looking back, we weren't sure exactly, of our sound, so we had all these elements of it, and it was just the setup for what we were building towards. And now I think on the last EP we just dropped in these new songs, and we're about to drop some more stuff next month. We really have come into our own, found our exact style and lane, and you can see the roots of that on that first album that we're but that was we were young when we did that one, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, so it's I definitely get a lot of that reggae rock vibe more on that one than I do the two newer ones, Point Your Emotion and your self-titled album that just came out in 2022. I get more of a bluesy rock those two than I do a reggae rock vibe.
Yeah, for sure. We only had reggae was just like one element of our sound. When our live shows we'd play blues, we'd play jam, we play reggae, like, because we came out of I was like a freshman in high school, he was in middle school, and we started playing bars. Yeah. And we'd play like 4-hour gigs, all these beach bars in Florida, and we could be all over the place stylistically. We'd played from Hendrix right to Sublime, right to the Doors, and then so that was doing the bar circuit for years, just finding out who we were as players and learning how to work with an audience. Then you start writing songs, and then basically we put a couple reggae songs in that first album, and then the reggae scene was so huge in Florida that we were looking around at local bands and saying, like, who can we look up to? What are local bands that are from here that are doing national stuff? And we were like, all the ones really were mostly in the reggae circuit. We're like, there's really cool bands from St. Pete doing national tours. So we kind of got in with them, started doing local shows with them. Then some of them took us out on some regional stuff, and even though we weren't reggae, we were we were influenced by reggae, so that was always in our sound. And the scene really took a hold of us, and we got a lot of opportunities in the beginning from that scene, and we still are involved in in the scene. We're at Reggae Rise up in March, and we just did New Year's Eve with the Movement in Virginia Beach. But like it was awesome. Yeah, they're badass. So good. And but yeah, we've basically been realizing that we were, our live shows are much more jammy, much more raw, much more heavy than our recordings, and people kept telling us that over the years, like, man, I liked your stuff, but like live, you were way better. Like, so, which is a cool compliment. I don't want to be worse live, Right. But also, we were also like, how can we make it so both are great? Like, how can we capture what we have on stage, which is really the pride of what we do, is our live show and how much we toured. How do we capture this on a record? That's what we want to do going forward. And that's kind of the pivot we made last summer with the self-titled. We wanted it to be more raw, more real, more loose, jammy, but still rock, but still still keep in touch with our roots a little bit in the reggae world. And that's been our goal going forward, is to just make anything we put out be very representative of what we do live.
Right. Well, I always like to hear a band that sounds the same on the record as they do like in person
on
stage.
Exactly.
Whenever it doesn't, it's like, well, that's a kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I've been duped.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard you guys play it earlier. It sounded very close.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I heard you sing, so
okay.
Don't let me down.
No, I won't.
That's just a joke, though. asshole. Backing up to playing with Chicago. I mean, you guys are native Chicagoans, right?
I am. So I was born there. He's our only Floridian in the family.
Yeah. Okay, so as a native Chicagoan, how does that feel to have opened up for Chicago?
Oh, it was insane. And it was like our first ever tour too. We were 18 and 15 when we got that. A friend of the band's manager had seen us and passed us along, and like, you know, when you do the bar circuit, like, people come up to you all the time and claim they know someone famous, but it never, and then, you know, and they're like, yeah, I know him, I'll pass him along, but never, yeah. So we thought it was another one of those times. But then my dad was basically our manager at the time. He was helping us out, and he got an email from the manager of Chicago, and it was wild. And then he got on a call with him, and he said, I've heard good things about the band. I want you to send me some music. I want you to send me a bio and some pictures. And he wanted it sent old school. He wanted it all in the mail. He didn't want anything like. Okay. So we put this we packaged this, put this package together, mailed it out, expecting never to hear again, you know. And then it was about a few weeks later. He says, "All right, check this stuff out. I like what you guys are doing. I'm gonna give you 2 shows. Dude, I want you guys to do the Orlando show and the Atlanta show." And we're like, this is crazy, because they liked the fact that we were a 2-piece, because we were easy on and off, and also that we played, at this time, we didn't really have originals, so we were classic rock covers. So it was perfect to open for Chicago while people are walking in to play classic rock covers. They liked that. So we did the Orlando show. It was at the Hard Rock Live at Universal, and it was wild. Then Atlanta, it ended up being us, and then REO Speedwagon, and then Chicago was the bill for Atlanta at like 18 and 15. Yeah, that's wild. And we learned so much on those runs. And the Atlanta show, we had a 15-minute set, and Chicago's stage manager came over and he said, "All right, you guys have 15 minutes tonight." He's like, "If you could play 16 minutes, you'll never play with us again." So I was like, all right, like, that woke us up early. Like, we got to be on our shit. So we ended early that night, like, just to be safe. And then we're coming back from Atlanta, and his manager hits my dad up again. He said, "We'd like you to do the whole Southeast run." So it was about 6 more shows, which included the Ryman in Nashville. So legendary room. So we're like, you know, this is incredible. And then the following year, we did the Southeast run again. So we were like, for 2 years, we were like the house opener when they came through the Southeast. It was wild. I can't say enough. And the band was so cool. We didn't even expect to really meet them, because obviously they're, you know, absolute legends. So we didn't know what to expect. But they were taking time out to come talk to us, offer advice, like even watch our set, like, which we didn't expect at all. So they were very, very genuine and incredibly hard workers. Like, besides 2020, like, they didn't miss a year of touring since like 1967 to now. Yeah. They've never taken a year off, and it's incredible. And then they're going out this summer with Earth, Wind, and Fire, so they're still going strong. Like, yeah, it was just to have that experience so early on, like, really lit a fire in us, and it helped us, one, to see like what a really professionally run tour is like, and like what needs to be done if you want to get to that level, like, and what, like, how, like, that always instilled in us. Now whenever we're an opening act for anybody, be on time, be easy to work with, be like, we learned so much early on, and that we see other bands now, like, you know, we try not to make the mistakes, like playing 5 minutes over when you're an opener. That's a big no. And then like being rude and taking all the shit from the green room or something when it's not your green room or something, you know, or or step, you know, you want to hang out with the other bands but like not step on their toes. It's like all these things you got to learn when you're coming up.
Kind of like ways that you navigate through the industry.
Yeah, exactly. So luckily, like, we got to get those lessons really early, which helped us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of part of my next question was, like, you know, you guys grew up in a family without immediate musical background. So, you know, how was it to be able to navigate through the music industry and build all these connections, especially at a young age? I mean, obviously you have to have a good manager, and you've got to have a good.
Yeah.
I've seen your all's family. They're huge supporters of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mom and dad both.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, you know, talking to David a few times, he seems like a cool dude. He really cares a lot about you guys and like your career. So.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just how do you really navigate that and you know, get your name out there and you know become the Ries Brothers.
Yeah.
Doing what you're doing.
It was for a long time. It was tough because it's like we have this big goal. but we have no idea how to reach it. Like we know what we want to do. We want to be a touring band, playing original songs to people who want to hear it, right? But we're like, how do we do that? Well, the thing we knew is we love playing live, and we knew because even after the Chicago tour, we still don't have that much original music yet. We're still a bar band, basically, even though we had that experience those first couple of years coming back. So we're like, obviously, when we play live, people react and things happen. So we know we just got to keep going. We just got to keep playing and playing, and eventually we'll put a team in place. But we just got to do what we can, and it did. We even, we said yes to everything in the beginning, every bar show, restaurant, seafood restaurants, every place that would have us in Florida. There's a great performing arts center in town that started having us open for bands that came through touring. So like we noticed that opportunities come when we keep working. So we know we're going to just keep going. And then eventually we got to meet our manager, David, and you tell a good story.
Yeah, you've heard of Stick Figure, right? Yeah. So I was a massive Stick Figure fan before I knew anyone in the reggae scene. Just like I was only like Charlie didn't really listen to reggae, it was just me. But I posted a song of ours in the Stick Figure family Facebook page, like their fan group, and just to see if anyone would listen. And sure enough, David, our manager, like commented, this is great, send me more music. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I sent him some music, and he's like, hey, let's talk. I'm a big promoter, and I manage a couple bands. He used to manage Inner Circle, the old reggae band. Bad Cops theme song.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, he used to manage them, and I'm like, so he's like, let's jump on a call and let's talk. And we had like an hour phone call, and I was like, all right, this guy's the real deal. Like he's talking industry stuff, like chatter that I've never heard before. And it was kind of awkward because we were at the time of the phone call, we were on our way to our current manager's house, and we realized like
we're gonna have to dump our manager today.
We just realized that like we knew David was the guy. Like I knew instantly. It's like when you meet a girl for the first time, you're like, she's the one. It's kind of like that. Like this is the dude. And
it was it was a crazy like back and forth because we like you said, we're on our way to the manager who we just signed with, because David was our third manager that we'd so okay.
We're all D's. Doug, David, another David,
and we're literally, so now we're up meeting with our manager who we just signed with, and like we're kind of hearing his more ideas. Like at this point we're still very fresh, so we're kind of like, man, someone wants to manage us, let's just have so that's why we're up, and we didn't realize how the threshold for what a management could be. So we're like, oh, someone wants to help us, that's awesome. And we're talking to this guy, and basically his biggest idea was like, we're gonna email festivals, and in case a band drops out, try to get you on as a replacement. Like I'm like, oh well, that doesn't sound that great. Like just wait around for
how many people are trying to do
that? I'm like, just email the festival in general. You don't have like an inside. So while we're talking, this guy David's hitting us up, and he's like, I just sent your videos to G Love. I just sent it to 311. I'm like, and we're seeing the actual texts. Yeah. We're like, shit, like this is the guy we gotta go. Like this is real. Like he's not just saying he's doing it. He's sending the screenshots back of the combos he's having. Right. I'm like, wow, this is real. How do we find a way out? And we finagled our way out. Luckily, like we just started working with this other guy, so it wasn't like years with a dump, so
no serious breach of contract.
Not at all, yeah. And luckily David came on at the exact right time, and we never looked back. And because within a year of working with David, we were on full national tour with G Love and Special Sauce, and we did Cali Roots and Sunfest in that first year, and that just set us on to, and besides 2020, we haven't stopped touring since then, really.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
How many shows would you say that is per year, if you could count?
I'd say
50.
Yeah, 150 is probably good. I mean, we want to do even more going forward. When we used to do bar shows, we were doing like 200, 250 a year probably, because we were working almost every night.
That's Andy Frasco status right there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, we had like a weekly slot at different.
Yeah, we had a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, Thursday night at different restaurants, and we were like the house band. But yeah, I'd say around 150, but we want to get that number even higher. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it sounds like you guys have just really worked hard over the years and just really put yourselves out there to make things happen. And of course, knowing the right people is kind of everything in this industry.
Yeah.
It seems like the industry's rigged, but like it
right.
kind of is in a way, and it really it helps to know.
It's true,
to get you to the having them in the right spots to be from. Oh well, we're just trying to get you to fit into a festival where somebody drops out to rather than hey, I got you lined up with G Love and whoever else you set a second.
But it's exactly
that's big stuff, right? And if you don't have those right connections, it's like you'll always be just trying to get in.
100%. I mean, you absolutely need connections to go forward, but like you can start from nowhere and get those connections, and that's exactly what we did. And so like you don't have to be someone's famous son to make it, or uncle or whatever. Like you can start from scratch and just keep working and meet the right people, and it eventually falls into place. It may take longer than you think.
Right.
You can't expect like immediate results, but if you love it and you're willing to put in the work, then watching it grow, because we've always said like, having a hit would be amazing, but also we don't want to go like this. We want to build organically and build a fan base that's going to come with us our whole career, instead of just having one song and then people forget about you, or
you don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
Right. I mean, we want to be able to, play music to our fans for the rest of our careers, and build that base over time, and we want people to know that we're gonna come through every year, and that we're gonna be reliably working all the time, and be a band that you can follow, and know that we're gonna come through your city every year, and give you a great show. That's our goal.
No matter if it's like 500 people or 50 people.
Right.
You're gonna get the same experience.
You're gonna get the same experience. Yeah. Okay. And we learned that from Chicago early on, because a small crowd for them was like 1,000 or 1,200, but like we did the show for like 6,000, and then the next night was this tiny town in Kentucky, and it was like probably like 1,200, and which to them looked small,
right.
But we saw them do the same exact show, and they were talking afterwards, like, and they said the exact thing. No matter how many people, you never know, no matter how many people, you have to give the same show. Otherwise, what are you even doing out here? Right. Got to give it your all. A story we heard a while back from there's a record, A&R guy from LA that we he used to be, like, when we met him, he was already out of the business. He was older, but he was telling us stories, and he said he repped this band, and they were playing this club show, and they said like 25 people were there, so they really kind of were like, let's just like go through the motions tonight. We don't have to, they didn't really give it their all. Right. And the crowd could feel that, the manager said he could feel that. And afterwards he's yelling at us, he's like, God, what was that? Like, you didn't look like you were on tonight, even you wanted to be there. And they're like, yeah, it was 25 people there. He's like, yeah, one of them was a record executive from Warner Brothers. He's like, oh, fuck. And he saw that show. Yeah. He saw that show. So, like, you never know who's in your crowd. You never know. So, like, just give your all every single time,
Yeah, it has me thinking about, it happens with people. It does. And honestly, I feel like maybe it's as humans and being, just humans, or even as just a performer, you draw energy from the crowd. And if there's, like, not going to be what you're thinking is going to be in the crowd, then you might get let down a little bit.
It's true. It is harder. It is definitely harder.
You're not going to be able to draw that same energy, or maybe at least release your energy like
you're
expecting to do.
Yeah.
And, it just messes with people sometimes. So
it does.
It gives you that sense of like, oh well, there's only 25 people in here, so I'm just going to go through the routine tonight.
Yeah.
And, just play a soft one, but give it your all every time.
Yeah.
There's people out there that are really excited to see you.
Yeah.
Play a dull performance, and they'll be like, "Well, shit."
Exactly.
This time,
yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't hope that they think that, but you never know how people think.
Yeah.
Maybe they might think that. Right.
Right. Because it's not. It's like it's not like it's different than sports because like your team could suck, but you're still gonna go to the game next year. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But in music, if you keep sucking and people are like, I'm not gonna spend the money. It seems they haven't put on a good show in the last 2 times I saw them. You know, they might not go, but it's so that we always envy athletes in that way. Like, because I'm like, they suck and the stadium's sold out. You know, but like if we sucked, no one would come.
Yeah, that's what my dad says about Aerosmith. He says they suck live.
I haven't actually never saw them.
I haven't either, but maybe one of these days.
Yeah.
Kevin.
All right. Shoot it.
I read one of your early inspirational artists was Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever attempt to play the guitar left-handed like him?
I did. And it didn't go well. And the funny thing about his guitar is, I believe I forget. I think the headstock was still already, like it wasn't switched, but he's like switched the strings, so it was weird. Like it looks like a righty guitar, but the strings are the opposite way. Yeah. So it's maybe, I don't know, maybe he couldn't find a lefty guitar, so he just put it like custom made a lefty guitar. But yeah, I've tried to do lefty, and it's like trying to train your brain to do the exact opposite. It's impossible.
So I guess you guys have paid attention. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. That Nick McDaniels from Big Something plays left-handed.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which looks complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, it's funny. You go to a like guitar center, they have like 1,500 guitars in like the little corner with 3 lefty guitars. It's like, yeah, it's so rare, but it's cool. I'm always fascinated to know like how, become lefty. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There's not that many.
That fascinates me is people that are able to play 2 instruments at the same time.
I'm not sure who. I don't know anyone who can do that.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like super talented, like superpower almost, isn't it?
I mean, as far as him, he's got a track playing. It's not.
Oh yeah, it's all tracks.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So the guy from The Doors, what's his name? Ray
Manzarek.
What's his thing? How did you learn that?
Yeah, so I was fascinated by the fact that they were like the only major rock band of like the 60s and now have a bassist. I'm like, that's very interesting. So he played all their bass lines on a little keyboard while he played his organ parts. So he held all that down. And I was just fascinated because it created a totally unique sound because it didn't have the full bottom, but it had this like different tone, and it added such a unique element to their music because Doors music is so unique and so different and weird too, like from traditional like rock standards. It's like not the norm, which is why I love it. And I was just so fascinated by that, and because then when we couldn't find a bassist like our age to jam with us that had the same like drive as we did and wanted to start gigging out and stuff, I'm like, I'll take that concept, but I'll do it with the drum kit. And I had to try to convince my parents I could do it before they bought me a little keyboard. I'm like, they're like, you want to do what? Like, and they're like, why? But I'm like, look, I can do it. And I sat down at the piano. I'm like, and I had a drumstick. I'm like, look, like, I'll do it like this. They're like, I don't know if they thought I was crazy or whatever, but we were thankful that they supported us enough to get me the keyboard, and we started. It took me about 6 months to where I was confident to do it out, and we started playing gigs with that setup, and that enabled us to sound like a full band just being the 2-piece, which is important because certain duos obviously made it work, White Stripes, Black Keys, but we were different sonically, so we needed that bottom. So I had to figure out a way to make that happen. So that's what we did, and it stuck. We still don't have a bassist.
Do you understand anything about like the science behind that in your brain? How you're able to do that?
No.
It's it's maybe something I should look into. But I was like, man, like that's really cool. Actually, see you like sit there and play the keys and drum at the same time, and I'm sure once you get the hang of it and you're doing it, it's nothing really. But it's
definitely had to.
You're staying within you have 2 different rhythms going on at
the
same time. So it's like, how's your brain able to control? Obviously it does, but it's beyond my comprehension of things.
Yeah, I had to learn them all separately before I could, learn to put them together, and then just listen to a ton of bass players, and every song I listened to, I tried to pick out the bass lines, and so often they go with the drummer, right. The rhythm section, and they're usually really in sync. And then the guitarist is
drum and bass is always locked in.
yeah, and then the guitarist is always on top doing whatever they do, you know. And then but the drum and bass is always locked. So I'm like, I just kept learning to lock those two in, and it'd be like a kick-ass rhythm section of two guys, but just be my left hand doing it. And so you'll see that like my bass line just follow what I'm doing on the kit, and it's kind of like it just feels like one instrument at this point. Yeah, and then I had to add the vocals on top of it. So now mostly I had to get the drum and bass on autopilot so I could just focus on not forgetting the words and not singing off key.
Right, it's a good point too. Singing on top.
Once I had the rhythm down to a science, I'm just really focusing on what I'm singing. And then now like on some shows we bring out a third player now who does keyboards and guitar, but I still do the bass. But like when we do bigger shows, some festivals, we brought out like a bassist on some, and it's pretty. I realized how rusty I was playing two-hand drums. I've been playing one-hand drums for so long. I'm like, wow, my left hand just doesn't feel normal anymore.
He's gotta catch back up with the right hand.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a trip to try to relearn how to be a real drummer again. Like,
Now, I've heard some sax in your music before too. Can you do that on the keyboard?
I can't do the sax on the keyboard, but we have people sit in. Like actually, last night in Asheville, we had Casey from Big Something sit in, which was awesome.
This is Casey's banana.
No way.
To me, yeah, a couple years ago.
That's awesome.
Transferred. Shout out Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
got your banana.
That's part of the prop now. And every once in a while, when I go see Big Something, I'll take it and get Casey to recharge it. Play it up on stage, and he actually tried to take it from me at 123 Pleasant Street about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But last time that I saw him, he didn't try to take it. He gave it back.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Casey.
That's awesome. Wow.
You guys had Casey sit in with you?
Yeah, last night it was awesome. It's badass. It was an amazing crowd. It was a dope venue.
The Salvage Station.
Yeah.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville, yeah, it's a great spot. And yeah, that's the first time we got to jam together, so it was really, really cool.
That's cool. I'm sure you guys would have more opportunities to jam again.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
2 more times, yeah.
Yeah. It was at 51 dates is
Yeah.
counted on there total.
And we're only like 6 or we did 4 days with them in December, so we're like 6 in now.
Is this, even though that's not the official kickoff to? I guess it is because it's 2024.
Right.
And it's not December 2023. So.
Yeah, it felt like we had the winter run, and then we kicked it off this week because this one's pretty much going until May, only with like a couple weeks off.
Man, Big Something, they're real cool. I mentioned it in the message that Big Something was one of the first bands I interviewed back in 2018.
Oh, that's awesome.
They used to have this radio show in Charleston, which we're in Dunbar. Charleston's the capital city. It's 10 minutes up the road here. And I was on the radio up there. I used to go to music festivals and things like that and interview different bands. But yeah, Nick McDaniels and Ben was in there. Ben the drummer. Here I'm blanking. Josh on keys. Josh was in there. I don't think Doug was in there for it, but it was at Mountain Music Fest.
Oh yeah, we have.
Here in West Virginia, and real cool guys.
Nice.
It's been nice to be able to keep up with them over the years and watch them continue to grow. I mean,
they
were playing long before I'd found out who they were, but they're really getting popular now.
Yeah.
A bigger name for themselves. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's super cool. Wish I could have made it down there last night, but it was like there's no way I'm going to be able to drive to Asheville. I could have.
Yeah.
Drive to Asheville and then drive back up here tonight.
I know we're in Roanoke next week. I know Columbus isn't too far. We're Columbus.
Yeah, you're in Columbus maybe in March, something like that. I think I want to come to that show.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, rendezvous up there.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Hell yeah. That'd be cool to do another little interview here too.
I could probably take all this. All it is really you see it right here. You got the cameras,
and
mics, and I've got a mixer too, so it actually makes the audio sound better.
Oh, cool.
I haven't fully set it up yet.
Yeah.
And gotten the hang of it. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working. Like this is episode. It's 43.
43.
Yeah, 43.
Awesome.
Right on.
Yeah, it's still in the process. Things get going, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Call before you walk.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe one day it'll be set up like Joe Rogan style or something.
Yeah.
You'll have a mic. We'll have we're gonna need a round table. Shit.
Yeah.
Talk about
This
space.
one's perfect right here. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Honestly, I'd like to talk about more than just music, but generally I try to give this this is your all's time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bands that are here. This is your all's time for people to learn about you. I mean, I don't know. So I'm interesting to an extent. You know, I got some things going on, but it's like people that want to watch, they want to know more about the musicians and stuff. So, you know, but if we get a chance to talk about like, you know, underground tunnels made by the Jews in New York, or like I don't know, like what's going on with anything going on. Aliens in Miami.
Right.
Or, geez, what else is in the news right now, guys?
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of shit.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. That's
That Miami one was weird.
right.
We thought like
Epstein client list. That's what's
yeah. We thought if aliens do come, they're really gonna go to a mall.
Apparently, so we're gonna dive down the hole here real quick. Apparently, the aliens, they were seen exiting through a portal that was somewhere. It was either the basement or somewhere
in the Dillards.
In the Dillards.
Macy's.
Yeah. It was in Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And
They come through the shop.
What it was is they had seen there was a portal that had just opened up somewhere in the mall, and these 9-foot tall creatures came walking out of it. And I mean, if you want to dive in a little bit more to that,
Did they step out and go like, oh shit, wrong?
apparently, like
There's a lot of cameras in malls.
Yeah, apparently there wasn't anything caught on camera. Apparently,
Yeah.
At least if there is, they're not showing that to anybody yet. So
Yeah.
That's true. It could be hidden. That's true.
yeah, just like
But-
Jeffrey Epstein's camera on his cell, not working when he apparently hung himself.
Yeah.
so-
Exactly. Same thing.
They don't want you to know. They want you to guess. But they don't want you. They'll tell you aliens exist, but they're not going to straight out be like, "Boom, lay the facts on the table. Here's the alien.
Yeah.
His guts.
Yeah.
And see what he's eating last night."
If they
TikTok first.
if they do, they're hiding you from something else. You know, they're
Yeah, man. It's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I wish I could understand it more, but then sometimes I think maybe I don't want to understand it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's better just live in the small circle here.
Yeah.
in West
Right.
Virginia,
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Not your job.
Right. Guys, I got a couple more questions here for you, then we'll wrap things up. As you can hear, you might not hear it on the audio, but I can hear them out there. Pet Bed Dan is getting
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are cool. I'm so happy that you guys get to play. It's not together, but you guys get to hear each other.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whenever you guys are already big now. Maybe you could rope them in one time on a show.
Absolutely.
Cool guys. All right.
I don't like that look.
Right. Now that you guys have collaborated with various artists over the years, including Butch Trucks, G Love and Special Sauce, 311, Iration, and Iatera, how have these collabs influenced your musical growth, and what have you learned from these experiences so far?
I mean, personally for me, doing these collabs has helped my personal production skills in music for sure, because you get to go through the whole process of like, how do you do features, but when you're not actually physically in the studio together, when you're sending stuff back and forth, and like, so, because right now like we're doing like I can do pre-production for our music right now, so pretty much I can do like all our guitars, bass and everything, and then we go into a studio so he can record drums, because I can't really do that at home. But it's so cool, the process is like sending a track to someone who's like in California, and then they hear it, and then they record on their end, then send it back, and it's kind of helped me just like hone in on my skills as far as like mixing their vocal. I actually got to mix Julian Marley. We did a feature with him, and he sent his verse, and I got to actually mix it and edit it and all that, and that was like crazy experience, just hearing his vocals like just as is without any music, and being able to add that into our song. That was like a surreal moment. I was
like you really like a coming of times when you get to work with such a legend like that.
Yeah, and like for it to be like for our song too. It's like getting casual email from Julian Marley.
That's an upcoming song, right? It hasn't come out yet.
No, it's actually a reggae remix that we did with like 5 and 6 features. It's on our Spotify right now.
Oh, okay.
It's a song called "Take It Back." It was on It was on Paint Your Emotion, and then we did a reggae remix, 2021, and it's got Julian Marley and
I've probably heard the reggae remix.
Yeah.
I know, take it back. Take
Yeah.
it back. Take it
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I can sing some of your guys' songs.
Hell yeah.
I'm not like super
I love it.
over here. She's not even paying attention. Yeah, you guys are really good, and I've been listening to you a lot. So, and there is quite a few of your songs I can sing. So, and I've been telling everybody, like, you gotta listen to these guys. Come down to the shop, They're like, who's the Ries Brothers? Like, all these guys out of like, you guys check them out. They're touring with Big Something right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like Big Something. Okay, I'm like, yeah, you guys are like the Ries Brothers. Then.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're seeing it a lot these past shows with Big Something. Like, we've never heard of you guys, but we're definitely be following you. So it's kind of a whole nother fan base that's opened up for us too in that scene that we've been trying to get into, the whole jam circuit. So it's super cool making, and we try to go to merch every single night and just hang out and find stuff because, you know, it's just fun for us to meet and talk to the people and all that good stuff.
Last night, did you meet a guy named Michael Hamilton?
Probably.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Hamilton of Ham Jammers. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
The group, yeah. Okay, like you're
do.
incognito on Facebook.
I do remember that.
No, yeah. I'm on
okay.
Instagram. My Facebook was hacked a while ago, and I like tried to get back on, like, and it's like all my stuff was like still wiped out. It was really weird. And then I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I never even loved being on Facebook, so like I'm kind of fine with this. I'll just keep the bands. I'll just work the bands page, you know. So that's what I.
We came and worked the band's page.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I hate social media. I hate getting on there and having to like constantly engage with other people's posts on for them to see my stuff. But it's like in order to.
Yeah, there's no other way we can do it as a touring musician than you can't not be on social media. Like
Exactly right.
people have to know where you're going, where you're playing, you know,
It's
when
just
your
fun
music's
to
coming
do
out.
that.
Yeah.
Like you guys seem to do a good job at it, even with your, you know, like your post last night talking about, you know, playing in Asheville, and then you got tonight's show, and then whatever one's coming up here in the next few days.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to keep up on where you're going, but we try to post every single morning after the show. If we have a couple of pictures, just, you know, letting everyone know that was not there, you know, how good it was and where we're playing next. So we're trying to get good at that.
So when you guys aren't playing shows or touring, you know, what kind of activities do you enjoy in your downtime? Do you watch YouTube?
Oh yeah, I watch YouTube. I mean, like most of touring is driving, so we have so much time just to sit in the RV and watch movies and listen to music. But at home, I love skimboarding, big surfing when we can in Florida. Anything outdoors really. You know,
you like guns? You like shooting guns?
Actually,
You guys live in the country out there.
yeah, I actually shot my first gun during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what kind of gun was it?
It's a shotgun. It was a big old shotgun, and we did the thing where it flies up and you shoot it. Skeet shooting. Yeah. So we got to do that.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
It was great. I think, you know, you should definitely have a gun. Yeah, everyone should have a gun.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Right to defend yourself. You gotta know how to use it though. And be responsible.
Yeah, no, there's a way to, like, you know, it's fun. When I went shooting, like it was such a, like, you gotta have you can't point it up, you know, it's gotta be pointing down when it's loaded.
Put your finger on the trigger.
Yeah, so there's ways to do it and be totally safe about it. But it was a great experience. It was crazy, the drawback.
Right. Yeah.
I was not expecting that, but
Oh yeah, it'll definitely punch you in the shoulder if you're not paying attention.
yeah, or the head. Or the head.
And I like shooting guns too. I got a couple myself, but usually on the holidays, like my brother and I, we'll go out and we'll line up pop cans like up in the woods, and we'll shoot his guns and shoot mine and shoot my mom's and shit. So yeah, fun to do. Stuff, making memories and blowing shit up, you know. You say you watch YouTubers. You got any favorite YouTubers?
Man, it's not specific YouTubers, just like different.
Baseball channels.
Yeah, a lot of baseball, a lot of health food stuff. I'm big into that. You know, a lot of surfing, skateboarding stuff. Mostly sports. When you know football is in season, you know, we got baseball coming up, so I'm always interested to learn about, you know, our teams that raise. So whatever they got going on in the off season.
Yeah.
A lot of music stuff, like we'll watch full concerts from bands too, and like get hyped up before shows. That's kind of what we do. That's our pre-game little thing, just watching other bands, getting inspiration.
So there's a couple Florida YouTubers that I watch, and I was going to mention them, see if you guys happen to know. Number one, Ross Creations.
Oh yeah. It was funny. I was like a kid. It's probably like 10 years old. We were at a Rays game, and we're just, you know, sitting there having a good time, and this guy comes flying behind us, does a backflip over the dugout, runs on the field.
Naked, right?
Yeah, and I was right there, and
There for that.
yeah.
Wow, yeah, that was
So he's been
stunning.
he's been doing it, and he's got some unique stuff because, like, he does stuff that no one would even, like, he jumped off like a trampoline on a truck into the ocean off a bridge.
Yeah, right.
Like, that shit is, they can kill you in a second.
Yeah, man, I was trying to think of one today. He's got a little nephew. That's most of the ones with his nephew in the video. His nephew's like 5 or 6, something like that. And they got him dressed up in a like a construction worker's outfit, and they put like a fake goatee on him, and they gave him a fake ID, like printed him off an ID, and like told him to go in and try to buy a Red Bull. And then the guy was like, "Oh no, I can't sell this to you." He's like, "You're a kid." And he's like, "Oh no, it's like I'm of age." And he's like, "This is a fake ID. You can't do this."
Yeah, he's got some amazing, like, he wore like a miner's outfit and like stood outside a gas station trying to get people to buy him beer.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a miner.
You buy me some beer.
Yeah.
And that guy took off for that Mexican guy.
And he always fucks with like repairmen and stuff.
Right.
He put like beans inside of a computer and then called a computer repairman to come. He's like,
put Cheerios, or not Cheerios, put shit. They're not Cheerios. What are the ones in the can?
SpaghettiOs.
There you go. Yeah, put SpaghettiOs in like these,
Cheerios and pasta sauce would be gross. Yeah.
When they took that car into the shop, and then the guy took off like the gas tank or something. There's SpaghettiOs coming out of the gas tank.
Like that takes like time to come up with a prank like that.
Yeah.
Like commitment.
Kind of like sitting around in a circle getting high. These high
Yeah.
ideas. Like, all right, so like, we're gonna put SpaghettiOs inside the gas tank, and then we're gonna drop it off.
He's probably been arrested hundreds of times at this point.
Besides Ross, also I like Danny Duncan. You know Danny?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Duncan, yeah, he's stirs up a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Has a lot of fun out there in Inglewood. So
Yep.
That's kind of close to you guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down south.
There's another guy I watch. His name's Tanner. His channel's called No One's Safe. He's up in.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one.
He's up in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes in Walmart. Not Walmart. He goes in Walmart and smokes blunts on. It says you can pick up the aisle 13 Sam's Kush. Right there. Yeah, he does all kinds of stuff. But yeah, shout out to plug those 3 guys. They'll never plug mine, but no big deal. So,
All good.
I figured I'd bring that up since you guys are Florida boys, and maybe you know a thing or two. 2 more questions here for you, and then we're gonna wrap things up. With 3 EPs, a live concert DVD, and your debut full album recently released, what's next for the Ries Brothers in the terms of projects or aspirations?
Yeah, we got a bunch of new music we've been working on the last couple weeks recording. And one of the things I was gonna mention before is like with the styles we blend, instead of doing like a reggae song, a blues song, we have a couple new songs that like blend it into the song. Like we have a totally blues rock song that ends with a reggae drop. So, and then like we were just recorded an instrumental and it's like super jammy, and then it ends with a reggae dub drop. So I'm trying to incorporate that. But yeah, you can expect a lot of music from us this year, trying to do more music than we've ever released before, really, this year.
Yeah, that's the big goal. We've been working hard on it because even though we've been touring a lot, we've been hyper focusing on when we're off. Like that's the time we need to get as much done in the studio as we can, because obviously it's way harder out here to record. Even though he can do the pre-production, we've got our studio down in Naples. Shout out to the Sugar Shack Sessions guys. They've got a studio now in Naples. That's awesome that we work out of. So whenever we have time off now, we're gonna be there, getting stuff ready, and we've got 2 songs about to be mastered. We're hoping to drop end of end of February, and yeah, you look out for a lot more this year. A lot on the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Your next show coming up, where's that gonna be at?
We're in Roanoke next Thursday night, and then Charlotte and Atlanta, and then we fly to Tucson, Arizona next Sunday for the Gem and Jam Fest. Yeah.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I had a buddy that went last year and actually worked as he's a gemstone.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And he said it's a lot of fun out there. So.
Good. I'm excited. Yeah, it's a great lineup.
Yeah, that sounds like cool. That sounds like fun. Traveling the U.S. and jamming.
That's right.
Tunes. And with family too.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not like somebody that you hate.
Right. Yeah. Not all the
It's
time.
not all the time. It's a sibling rivalry, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you get a lot of that in the bus when you're driving around.
Honestly, not way less than you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah, it stays pretty chill.
Yeah. And we got our tour manager Stephanie in the house, and she keeps us adjusted, and yeah, exactly. And she works so hard for us, and she's our glorified babysitter on the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
she came through earlier, real clutch with the bottle opener. So
yes.
Babysitter thing.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I just learned about.
And Kevin didn't even know we had a bottle opener, so see.
Yeah, right.
Grab a bottle opener at a show, apparently.
Shout out to bottle openers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that bottle opener because when
Me
you
too.
need one, you need one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just knock it off of the corners of tables wherever you're
Yeah.
at.
Right.
All right, guys. One more question for you. Now, being that you're Florida boys and being that you're not vegetarians, because the last people that I asked this to were vegetarians, what's your favorite pub sub and how would you make it?
Ooh.
See, that's so hard.
Buffalo
Is it?
Yeah, I gotta go buffalo chicken tenders.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, just, it takes a while, but you gotta have, it's not something that you.
You almost feel bad.
Yeah, like if you're in a rush, it's not something you go and get a chicken tender pub so because they really go into detail. They like cut up the chicken, and put it in a bag, put the buffalo sauce in there, then put the it's definitely a process for them, and I sometimes I feel bad, yeah, but
It's a long, drawn-out process.
but man, and when it's such a treat. Like I don't eat a ton of bread, anymore, but like it's like my perfect cheat day is like a Publix sub.
Yeah,
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
You get the Italian bread with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah. Pub sub's legendary.
Yeah, I love good pub sub, but anytime that I try to order them ahead of time to get them to go, it's still 30 minutes or so.
Really?
Yeah, to get them, and then after you get there, God bless the old folks and all, but like, man, they put the old folks over in the deli, and they just take their sweet ass time, like you said, making that food, and it's good, it tastes great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, if you got somewhere to go and you're not chilling, like, don't expect to be going anywhere fast. Yeah.
Honestly, like when we get back to Florida, that should be the first stop.
Yeah.
Like now I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, pub subs, that's my go-to. My mom, she lives in South Carolina, and they've got a Publix down there now, so I can cheat. I don't have to go all the way to Florida to get a pub sub. And big time favorite. So yeah. Guess that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing here, but while I'm thinking about it, guys.
Yeah.
Normally, sometimes I give gifts to people. Not always. Sometimes I do when I'm thinking about it. So, it's not kombucha, but as a West Virginia thing, here, West Virginia.
I can see
what it is already. West Virginia.
I'm very excited right now.
West Virginia is known for our pepperoni rolls.
Oh shit.
Here in West Virginia. So,
Oh my god.
I give to you.
Thank you.
Wow.
A slab of pepperoni rolls.
Dude.
Appreciate that. Holy shit.
Of course. And eat those in the next 3 or 4 days.
Oh, like they'll be gone before we leave tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Football games tomorrow. Got some.
There you go.
Beautiful
Who you rooting for in the game? The Bucks?
I gotta go. Bucks lost last week, but gotta go Detroit.
Great run though.
Yeah.
Gotta go Detroit now.
Going,
The Lions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lions and Ravens because I'm tired of
Tired of the Chiefs. Tired of the 49ers.
tired of Taylor Swift being at games.
Yeah.
So let's go for the Ravens and Lions.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I don't really watch any NFL, but just because the Detroit Lions have been down for the last 16 years, had one game, but won the other day. They won their first bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for them. The underdogs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, shoot for those guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Even though they beat us, if they weren't playing us, I would root for them just because of their story. And this is the first NFC Championship for them since '91, and they've never gone to a Super Bowl in their history. So if they did, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, you can always keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, don't bet your bottom dollar on them either.
No. Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
talking
you.
with you.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
why don't you go ahead and shout out your social media?
Yeah. Everything's at Ries Brothers. Ries Brothers. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, everywhere you can listen to and stream music online. Check our website, riesbrothers.com. We got all merch store. We got all our dates posted on there. So come on out and see us. We'd love to see you at a show near you.
Of course, and if you like live music, you can always come down to the shop here in Dunbar.
Or pepperoni rolls.
Yeah, or pepperoni rolls. We're located at 1233 Ohio Avenue here in the heart of Dunbar. Just not far from anything. 10 minutes from Charleston, 10 minutes from Hurricane. Come out and support live music. This is a great spot. We've got great music coming here, like the Ries Brothers. Next week we've got an EDM party with Kevolution and Crypto Wave Radio and a couple
Nice.
others that are escaping my mind right now. But lots of great music going on here at the shop. So yeah, come out and support that. And Yeah, if you like the Grassroots 304 podcast, make sure to check it out. You can find it on YouTube and on Rumble just by searching for the Grassroots 304 podcast, and on Facebook. So go on there, give it a like, subscribe, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out, guys. Yeah, thank you very much.
Sweet,
dude.
thank
Awesome.
you.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, crack your finger on that one. Yeah, that's how we do it here in West Virginia. Get no pussy handshake. Don't you hate whenever somebody gives you like the soft, like dead fish handshakes?
Or like 3 fingers.
3 fingers. Wait a second. Hey, what are you doing here?